Hello there, intro to multimedia students. Here I am with my character, and I'm getting ready to create a shadow and put it on a background. All right, so as you can see over here, I have quite a few different layers, all of them kind of manipulated in different ways, but I feel like I've fine-tuned it to the point where I'm ready to compress it all down into one single layer to make it a lot easier to work with. That's going to look like this. See, I'm going to start by trashing a layer that I didn't end up using. Sorry, ostrich, you're out of here. I'm going to click on the top layer. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to click on the bottom layer so that all the layers are highlighted. And at this point, I'm going to go to the layer menu and I'm going to choose to merge layers. Okay. Merging layers, you see here, will make it all into one single layer. And then, in order to make it easier to select, I'm going to go ahead to my background layer here, and I'm going to choose to edit and fill my background layer with white. Okay, so I'm going to click that. Now that I've got the whole thing, just my character on a white background, I'm going to do one more layer function. I'm going to go to the layer menu, and I'm going to choose to flatten image. Let's see. I'll do that again. I'm going to go to the layer menu. I'm going to go all the way down here to flatten image. That's going to make it one single image, white background, and then my filled in character. And because I merged the white background with my character, now I'm going to use my magic wand selection tool. And I'm going to go ahead and select, and you can see there, oh man, it almost gets everything except for this area in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to grab all those little spots in between the spaces. I can even grab a little bit of this white space in here if I want to. I think that would improve it a little. Let's grab that little space and that little space. And now that I've got all the white area selected, I can go to my select menu, and I can say I want to select the inverse of that. So now my character is selected. Hooray. I'm going to go ahead and make a new background, okay, or a new layer. And after I made the new layer, now I'm going to go to the edit menu and I'm going to fill that new layer. I'm going to go ahead and fill it with, black, and I'm going to turn the opacity down. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 100% for now. Okay, so here's a shadow that I've just created here. And if I want to, I can go ahead and put that shadow behind my background layer. I'm going to unlock this. There we go. So let's take the background layer and let's put it up above the shadow. All right. And then on the background layer, I'm going to go back and I want to go ahead and delete the white from my image, right? So I'm going to go to select inverse again, and I can go ahead and delete that. And now I might want to go in here. I don't know. You never know when you might want to use a complicated selection again. So I'm going to go, we don't have save selection in this. You can do that in Photoshop. You can save a selection, but it doesn't look like I can do this here. That's okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll Control D to deselect everything. Now I've got this shadow layer here. Well, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the shadow layer and I'm going to turn on my transform tools. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use this tool here, and I think I'm going to edit transform, and I'm going to use perspective. Okay, so at this point I can go ahead and I can take this and I can play with it. So I think here I'm going to go ahead and see, I think I want to move my anchor point down here. So I transform from this spot. So everything's going to stick to that now because I moved the anchor. We'll go ahead and I'll use the rotate tool and it'll rotate off of that edge there. I can bring this guy kind of back. Oops. Pull it back in. Then I'm going to move this all the way down. There you go. And let's rotate that back in a little bit more. So I got to just touch this shadow up, stretch it out, place it just about right so that it hits the ground as a shadow. It's looking okay there, not too bad. Again, I moved the anchor point. I went ahead and dropped the shadow in there. It looks like my sun's coming from the top. I'm going to go ahead now and take this layer and I'm going to lower the opacity. So I'm going to lower it down to 50%. And there we go. We kind of have a shadow, cool shadow of my character there behind it. Guess I need to get my background in now. So I'm going to go ahead and just because I don't want anything to happen, I'm going to save this as a PSD. Pop that down. I'm going to open and place a file. And on my desktop, I have my intro to multimedia assets. I have my Frankenstein monster project, and I was going to use this image as my background. So I'll go ahead and click that to open it. And there we go. We have we have our character here at the ostrich ranch, and I got to move it underneath that layer. So let's move the shadow layer up one. There we go. We have the shadow falling on the ground there behind him. I've got the background. Let's go ahead and transform the background a little bit. All right. And I'm going to move it up. Pull it out a little bit there, and there we go. We have our character here, and we have our shadow behind him. If I wanted to, it might be time to go in and play with that shadow a little bit more. I'll go ahead and shrink it down and drop it to the ground a little bit using this distort tool. Looks like I want to move my anchor point, which is going to be kind of the point that it all moves from. And we can go ahead and drop it down on the ground a little bit there. Definitely got to move this up so that they're connected to his feet. There we go. And something like that kind of looks like a cool shadow. If I want to move them all, I'll go ahead and highlight this one, hold down shift and highlight that one, and I can adjust them around, decide where he's going to stand. And there we go. I got the project. Hopefully you're doing well with yours. I know I'm going to try and go in now and maybe clean up a little bit of the white remnants that I had left over here from my selection. I might even just take this layer and move it back before I had merged everything and added into it. But if you have any questions with this, let me know, and I'll help you work through your project. All right? Have a good day, guys. Bye.